Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Corey C., and I'm here with a very special guest. I've had him on before. He is the founder of LOVE.io. Anders, how are you today? It's been a while. It's been almost 2 months. I hope you're doing very well. I've seen you've been
Yeah,
very busy.
thank you, Corey. Yeah, I think it was probably end of October.
Yeah,
We had the last,
yeah.
all very well, thank you.
That's great. I've seen, I've seen on your Twitter how much you're promoting Love.io and cryptocurrency as a whole, and entrepreneurs like that are really what we need in cryptocurrency and
Thank
blockchain.
you.
So I salute you for what you're doing, and I really, really appreciate what you're doing for this space. It's not easy to, travel a lot.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, it's have been a lot of promoting. We have you've seen we've been in many different countries, different crypto shows. Started off in Crypto Valley in Switzerland. We have the Love.io Foundation is based there. Then we participated in Democracy for All in Barcelona, Blockchain Week in Rome,
wow.
Coinfest in Manchester in UK, and then Cyprus, Blockchain Week in Cyprus.
Wow.
And and in the middle of that, we also had shooting of a docuseries, Uncensored Crypto, in just outside Barcelona. That was very exciting as well, and will be aired sometime during next year, and it will be launched aired on 2 or 3 major networks in the US. So it's very exciting. Lot of good thing and a lot of talk. Of course, Love.io, and of course a lot with PulseChain, since we are building our application, or Love is launched on PulseChain. So then, of course, we have to talk a lot about PulseChain as well, and it's been amazing. And many people don't really know what PulseChain is and so on, but since we have had our own booths, and so on at the crypto shows, and then I have also done presentations and so on. So it's thousands of people have heard it at the conferences and then talking about it. So I think it's have given a good start for PulseChain when it gets launched. So,
that's an understatement. I've seen what you're doing. You're all over the place, and it's amazing. So in the 2 months time that we spoke last, it's been about 2 months, and so what have the conferences and the docuseries, what have you and the Love.io team specifically been up to in regards to Love.io? I've noticed that you, just like you said, have been and in so many different crypto and blockchain oriented conferences, discussions, docuseries, which is amazing, talking about Love.io and PulseChain. So let me ask you about the response. What about the response from the audience that you've received surrounding PulseChain and Love.io?
Yeah, so it's of course, as we I think we touched on that on last stream as well. When you first hear Love.io, then many people, they think it's a dating app or whatever, but when they start to understand that it's actually a cryptocurrency, and with a ticker symbol, Love, and then people, they get really interested in it, and want to have more information, and of course know what actually Love can do. And we have different teams in working on different things. So of course we have our devs team working on the application part that we launch, and then of course we have the people like myself that is out on conferences, you know, and talking and so on. And as I said before, it's since we are building on PulseChain, then of course a lot of questions and discussions is around PulseChain as well. And the response is pretty much the same, that people don't really understand in the beginning, you know, what it actually is. But when they start to understand that it's actually a complete hard fork of Ethereum, and that everything will be copied, you know, over to PulseChain, then people start to understand what it is. And what we have basically discussed in many YouTubers, you know, and about what will be the value of the PRC20 tokens, or that's the same discussions that that I have had, you know, during regarding PulseChain. But when people start to understand that we are actually coming into something, a new era in cryptocurrency and blockchain, and very similar to what happened in the .com era, where, for example, we had the big problem like with the bandwidth, for example, that many companies failed because they didn't have the bandwidth. They didn't have the blitz scaling capability as well. That happened in the early 2000s, and that is a bit where we are now heading with PulseChain, that we will actually have a Turing complete platform with proof of stake consensus algorithm. We will have 3-second block times and 4 times the throughput of Ethereum, and that will create what just the same as the bandwidth problem in the 90s with .com. That will be the change now for the cryptocurrency with PulseChain. And when people start to understand that, and then understand, you know, like the applications like love.io that can actually scale, like the blitz scaling model, then, you know, we have had people standing for hours, you know, talking, you know, and people that wants to really start to create, you know, and asking about the testnet, you know, and so on. So it's, and that is where we are now, you know, it's a very interesting time now ahead, both for, of course, love.io and of course for PulseChain. So.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I love the comparison you made to the dot-com bubble and the issues that the dot-com bubble faced, and what cryptocurrency faces right now as well, with unfortunate carbon outputs through proof of work proof of work blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum, bottlenecks, slow transaction times, massive fees. We're seeing problems in cryptocurrency that are hindering mass adoption. And it's not, right now, cryptocurrency is just not a practical means to a financial end in regards to mass adoption. So, and that's why I think protocols like PulseChain especially, that's going to have basically the entirety of the Ethereum blockchain, which is the largest blockchain on the planet when it comes to dApp development and infrastructure, being copied over on a more efficient blockchain. I think that's going to be incredible.